Well, guys, welcome back to Portal Talk. I am, of course, Calibus Rand, and with me is Marky Mark, and we have a special guest for you tonight. A very special young lady who was also at GalaxyCon, and we got to catch up with her. And I was telling Marky Mark, I said, I really need to try to get her on the show. She is at GalaxyCon. I need you to track her down and talk to her because we had briefly touched bases. So, um, let me introduce to you Miss uh, Mikayla.
Yes, yes.
Uh, how did you? Because I've been looking at your artwork,
Mhm.
and you've got that anime style down. You
Thank you.
definitely got it down. I mean, it's popping. Um, you also have, of course, your own links, which is in the description of the video, guys. So if you go there, you got the 5 Point Comic, Patreon, the Instagram. Was this the K5 or the Ko-Fi?
I think it's Ko-Fi. I think
Ko-Fi.
it's Ko-Fi. Pretty sure, yeah.
Look at that. Webtoon, TikTok, of course, YouTube, Twitch, and Gumroad.
Mhm. Mhm. A little bit
So
of everything, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but you're doing it. So, uh, how did you get started doing all of this? Tell us all that.
So, okay, so I'm going to go all the way back. Go all the way back. I was in 3rd grade and I used to draw comics of like all the characters I would see on TV. So we watched a lot of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and I drew a comic of Firestar chasing down the Green Goblin and like incinerating him when he was robbing a bank, and that made my mom laugh. And so from there, that set me on this trajectory of okay, if I keep doing this, maybe other people will also laugh at the work I do. So that's now carried me to basically just doing work that I hope evokes many feelings out of everyone. Um, I went to art school right after I got out of high school. I got a degree in animation, but now I'm just an illustrator. I'm not a big fan of animation, quite honestly. It's a little too tedious, but
Really?
yep. It's been a long road, and even with the art style I have now, I'm still finding tweaks to it to make it a little bit more me. But I just love drawing, and I've always loved drawing. So
Wow. I mean, when I had saw your some of your work, and then of course you got to go to GalaxyCon,
yes.
and Mark had set up the video and stuff, and we saw your booth with all your characters and everything else, and then you're a big DBZ fan.
I am, yeah, I am. I have the Saiyan logo tattooed on my back. Like I can't show it right now, but yes, it is in the back. And I got these done in preparation for GalaxyCon actually.
Hold on, let me get that in there. Oh,
These and wait, move this way. And these.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to. I had a nail appointment set, and I was like, "Well, I don't know what to do for this design this go around." But Akira Toriyama had just passed away, so I was like, "Well, what timing? What
So
perfect
is that?
timing?"
I mean, is DBZ the only anime love of your heart? Because like I said, I seen your styles, and you just, I mean, you wreck it. That stuff is tight.
Thank you. Honestly, no. I have a handful of favorite series. So when I think of like when off the top of my head, when asked what's your favorite, I have to say Dragon Ball because it was incredibly influential. Like I got this book like in 2008 and it changed my life. So it's just nothing but illustrations primarily from Dragon Ball, but I studied it like it was the Bible growing up. So that was a huge influence on my art style. But other series that were my favorites, I loved manga. I loved just reading manga growing up. So Cross Anima, Mermaid Melody, those were the main two. And outside of that, a lot of like slice of life. From Me to You, Wotakoi. I like a lot. I like a lot. I don't like limiting it
Okay.
to one specific genre. Or in High Host Club for anyone who should remember what that is.
Yeah, I got a lot of the old salt and pepper in the beer, but I remember some of that stuff. I remember some of that. I'm more into the old school style of the anime, really all the way up into Tenchi Muyo. But I
Mm-hmm.
love the old Bubblegum Crisis, Dirty Pair, Project Echo. Those are when, for me, when animation was king. Uh, I remember the first time I had saw Dragon Ball, and I was like, "Well, who's the green guy?" He goes, "Oh, that's Piccolo. He's a Namek." Okay, that's my boy right there.
Right,
And then
exactly.
Goku beat him, and I don't care. That's still my boy right there. I
Exactly.
like Piccolo. Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, it was a tough little thing, hearing that he passed, and watching everybody go through their little bit of memorial for the passing of the creator and everything
Mhm.
else. But seeing you at that booth at GalaxyCon, Viva La, the video that I got, I was like, oh, she is out there doing. Were you by yourself doing all that?
No, I have my boyfriend with me. So
Okay.
he is like what we call the booth babe,
Yeah.
or I don't want because pack mule is mean. So like, but if I'm not there, he is sitting in my spot and he helps me with setup. We travel together for these all the time. So any difficult setup decisions I need to make, I'll turn to him and he'll say, "Oh, we'll just do this," and I'm like, "No, I want to do this." And then there's some back and forth, but then we end up finding a nice middle ground. So my display looks great because there's a second opinion behind me, and the second opinion is always my boyfriend.
I hear that because I know it's tough. We recently did a convention, Convivial,
Mm,
and this was the first time that normally I help set up, and
right.
it's a lot easier to help set up than when you actually have to put all that stuff together, see how you want your table, how you want it, and then of course people come along and then they want to start moving stuff on your table, and you're like, look,
Yes.
I had this a certain way, please leave it alone.
Yes. Like I just started last year putting up signs saying, "Please don't remove stuff," because that never used to be an issue, and now it is.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna make signs.
yeah,
We're gonna deter some movement, but it's all good. I mean, I know being hands on with stuff in my experience, it makes people want to buy it more. So I'm like, hey, if touching it helps you wrap your mind around it more, then sure, go for it. I don't care.
It actually makes it real for a person at that point. So,
Exactly. They can see themselves with it at that
yes,
point. So
absolutely.
so at your booth, tell us what were you just selling your artwork, of course, and or were you actually doing drawings there, or
I was. A lot of the time I'll set up for sketch commissions at the show. So digital sketch commissions a lot of the time. People will give me OCs, they'll give me just favorite characters of theirs if they want them doing fun outfits or doing fun poses. I'll draw them there. This convention I didn't get any sketch commissions, but that's a-okay because it's just extra work at the end of the day that I don't mind doing because at the end of the day I'm practicing, I'm getting my hand loose, but a lot of the time at a con I will also be drawing. This time it was for fun, so that was wonderful. But you're already busy enough,
yeah.
you know. But I like doing the commissions because people love taking home something to take home as well. So it's really fun to do.
Well, you also, I mean, plus that GalaxyCon, I mean, last year was hectic.
Yes, it was.
And
Yes, it
then this
was.
year, when Marky Mark had showed me, it had looped around the building. They had three lines going into the building. I was like, man.
Right.
And
Right.
they moved the fan tables to the other side of to the next building, and then had all you guys out on the dealer's floor with all the celebrities and everything.
Yes. And that's normally how GalaxyCon will do it. This was my fourth GalaxyCon Richmond event. So I never hate celebrities being in the same room with the artists and the dealers. It's just GalaxyCon is turning more into a celebrity event as opposed to a convention as a whole. But people who come to these conventions, they're learning more like what a convention is. You go to the artist alley to find something super unique. You go to the dealers to find very hyper specific what do you want to call them? Collectibles. So you spread out. You don't just drop all of your money in the celebrity portion. You also come over here. So they're learning that, but for a couple of years that was not the case. But that's okay.
Really?
That is a-okay. That's just kind of what happens with general interest conventions.
Well, I mean, for me, I guess, yeah. I mean, but for me, when I went, it was always, you got to go to the dealer's room. That was the thing.
Yes.
All the interesting collectibles, and if there was an artist there, they may have had your favorite hero or character in a specific, pose that you saw that you wanted that was totally unique. No one else had it, and that's what I love about when you guys draw and stuff. It's something totally unique. Not everybody's going to have that same picture on their wall, or in their I guess their photo album or whatever. But
Definitely.
I can see what you're saying though. I mean, because I'm like I said, last year was crazy, and then like I said, we're talking with Mark. He was like, "Yeah, man, it was like wall to wall people. We couldn't even get in on this day. We just waited until Saturday. We braved through it." And I was just like, I don't know if I want.
Yeah, I did not see videos of anything until after the show. Because of course when we load in or when we come in early in the morning, there's no traffic. There's no issue getting there. We just get there early to go ahead and secure our space in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then we're not leaving for the whole day. So thankfully we're able to bypass all of that. So when people were telling me, "Oh, there's a bunch of hecticness going on outside," I'm like, "Yeah, it's a con. Like that's not anything new." But when I looked at the videos, I was like, "Oh, goodness. Okay, I didn't know GalaxyCon. Not to say that they wouldn't be doing it like that, but I didn't think it got that like Anime Expo, New York Comic Con level crazy." And so it was like, okay, well, happy I'm back here.
Do you plan on being there next year at GalaxyCon?
I moaned and groaned the whole time. And then when I got home, went ahead and signed up for another table.
Okay.
In true me fashion, I signed up for another table. I just got approved for it the other day.
Okay.
So that will mark my 5th year at GalaxyCon Richmond. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I had a lot of fun this year. So that's ultimately
what I was going to say. Now, Saturday, I had an issue trying to get into the dealer room. So we actually didn't come back till Sunday. I think we spent probably 20 minutes in there before we decided to leave.
Mm-hmm.
With that amount of foot traffic, did everybody stop by your table? Did you get a lot of foot traffic that whole weekend because of that? Or how was it, what you saw sitting in the dealer's room?
I feel like it was a okay amount of foot traffic given how many people were there. Friday, there was no foot traffic at all, it felt like. For Friday, it felt very, very dead. And we were kind of concerned because it was like, typically with Fridays, we're used to making back table and other expenses, like, or most of it at least, by end of day Friday. But it was non-existent. But then Saturday, I want to say around 3-4 o'clock, it was suddenly just this wave of people, and that was really cool. And then there was a bigger wave of people in the after dark portion Saturday night, so that was really cool. And then more people on Sunday. So learning patterns with these is kind of pointless because it's just like, yeah, numbers dictate, like there's gonna be this many people here. That doesn't mean they're all gonna be able to find you. I had a lot of people who could not find me that weekend. They were actively looking for me, and they managed to get past those crazy lines and get into the hall, and they still could not find me. So I was like, it's okay. I'm not mad. It's because there's too many people in here. But I didn't have insane. I had pockets of foot traffic, not super endless people walking by though. But that's okay. That's also fine. I'm not too upset about that at all.
Okay. Yeah, because it took me a
Manageable.
while to find you as well when I was
Yeah,
looking.
exactly. Like
And,
a very manageable amount of people were at the
okay.
table.
Well,
Okay.
now that we know that you're going to be there next year, we'll go ahead and, keep shouting you out here in the Cosmic Portal, and of course on the 757 Geek Fandoms page,
Thank you.
letting everybody know that you're going to be there because again, um, we're for the seven cities. We're for the Hampton Roads area. You're a local lady, making her mark. So we definitely want to shout you out, and that's why we did what we do for Portal Talk, just for the promotion of persons like yourself, you know, hitting that grind and doing what you do. Plus, again, I love your style of artwork. When I saw it, I was just like, man, I got to get me a pick.
Thank
Who's
you.
this? Who's this? I'm so lucky. I don't know who I'm so lucky is.
But thank you.
Right? But it's just one of those things, like I said, meeting you and then of course seeing you got at conventions and then seeing your artwork and everything else. Now, what was the after dark thing like? I needs to know that. That's what I need to know. What was all that like?
Okay. It ended up being very good. So, despite all of the hiccups that were taking place, so they started doing it with all of the GalaxyCon conventions last year at the Richmond show. So we decided, you know what? I want to venture out into doing more kinds of artwork. I'll start doing 18 plus work and I'll start it at this show. Cool. I made some wonderful friends in my section. We were all kind of holding it down, hunkering down till 2 a.m. And I met made really cool people, made really cool friends. And two of us decided we're going to go ahead and do it again this past year. So the main issue was with last year that we were very far away from any events that were 18 plus that were happening. We're like, hey, can we be right by the hentai coloring panel? And can we be like right by the burlesque shows that are happening? Because there are people who are coming down here and have no idea what's going on. So they moved us to where those areas were. Cool. You can display your work uncensored, which is awesome. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set up, be really quick, and do this. Neat. Friday night was like crickets, but that's okay. It is what it is. Saturday night rolls around and we're right back in the same spot we were the night before. And we're getting set up. Mind you, there are a lot of people down here. Some kids mixed in. But they're not we're under the impression that they're not supposed to be here, so maybe they're clearing out. No problem. We get told halfway through setup that we need to censor our setup. All of us who have 18 plus material needs to censor their setup. And we're like, why? This is an 18 plus event. There should not be kids here. Well, the area was not 18 plus. There was a concert going on that was all ages, even though I could hear some very much not all age friendly material coming from out of there. And I'm like, whatever. So I just start, but like my 18 plus art is very, it's extremely explicit and it takes up the majority of the page. So I'm putting like whole sheets of 8.5 by 11s up just to make this appropriate. One, out of frustration, and two, because I'm like, I can't cover this up. Like, there this much of the image they'll be able to see out of this whole size piece. So I'm like, whatever. So we threw it up, but still made a very good profit because now people are curious. Oh well, what's behind the paper? So it ended up working out very well.
Yeah, it's that old, you hit it. Now we want to see what it. Oh, look, you need to come check this out. Quick, quick.
Exactly. So it worked out fine with that in mind, but there were a lot of people who were coming up, and they were like, "Why would you have to?" Like a lot of attendees, like not to say screw kids or whatever, but you were told and you paid for
18
the
and up,
space
right?
to be able to do this. If it wasn't an issue last night and you're in the same space you were in last night, why is it an issue now? I don't know, bro. I'm not arguing with it. I'm just the girl. I'm just a little girl. I'm just here selling my work. Check it out. So I'm sure plenty of people complain about that though. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let them handle that. I made some good cash from it all. Sold out of a lot of stuff. So it worked out good. It worked
That's
out
the
really
main
good.
thing right there. I mean, like I said, because when I saw it, and when Mark, was doing the videos and stuff, when I saw something, I was like, damn, I'd like to have that, you know. And then um, when I knew you did the plus 18 stuff, because when you go over to your Patreon,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that it's 18 and up material. And let's see, bring this up here. Bam.
It shouldn't be anything too crazy right up front, but
Oh, no, 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 no. But you get to see some of the samples, uh, just of your artwork, which is awesome. That's what I'm saying. It's, even when you go back to say, just that style, almost remnants of Boondocks.
yes, I was. What year did I make that? That was my New Year's piece for I think 2022. I think when I did that. Yeah. So
Should.
I was through. I was so done with everything, and I was like,
Yeah, it does seem have a little attitude there, doesn't it?
I was so sick of it all. Like that full picture, I have like my busted glasses in my hands, and everyone, and everyone's like the twisted T. I'm like, yes, the twisted T. I was tired. I was very tired.
But it's definitely, and again, guys, we have the link to all her social pages in the description of this video. So I'm gonna ask you to check it out. Get in there. Um, you'll find a lot of things that I'm pretty sure that you'll be interested, especially on her Patreon page. Let me see.
I will say the Patreon page mostly serves as like previews, like quick previews of stuff, and then full PNG downloads for the 18 plus work specifically. Updates will be coming more frequently as soon as work calms down. But that is
And
kind of like the preview for all the art that I'm currently working on.
Okay. I have a question then. I read, I guess you were doing a anime, Bay City Patrol. Are you still actively looking at doing that, or how is that going?
Okay, so I've been getting asked that ever since I started selling the posters for Bay City Patrol, which was 2 years ago at GalaxyCon Richmond. Um, Mostly all in here. There's there is some animation projects I did when I was in school, just as like quick little commercial bumpers back when the name was still City Pop Cops. Um, I have this very long, drawn out idea of what I would love to do with Bay City Patrol. I would love to animate it and then do a comic sequel with this the sequel series, Neighborhood Watch, and then have it all tie in together as this thing called Bay City Patrol After Effects. That's another comic. I'd love to do that because I think that'd be really fun, but I am but one person. And animating what I think I had wrote down, or at least I had blocked out as what will be a 26 episode, maybe even more, knowing me, a 26 episode series, which is and not to go as in depth the way I want to. So what I'm doing right now is all mostly ideas. I'm gonna just go ahead and make it a comic because it's like it, or at least a very fun storyboard, and, and then go from there with it because a lot of my stuff works, like a lot of my ideas, original ideas, all are one massive thing, and I work on each part for that separately as opposed to doing it like in order. So
Oh,
why would I do that, right? So
who does that?
so right now it's all just one big idea. But on occasion I'll draw those original characters in just fun little one-off pieces. But the story's done. The story's done. I know I know how it ends. I know everything that happens in between. I just gotta do a little bit more research to really hone in on some ideas and some stuff I want to tackle.
Okay.
So
So
you
if
know the beginning and the end, and you're
yeah,
kind of piecing it. But isn't that how it works? Because I'm also a writer,
Okay.
so I got the end of my book before I even had the beginning of my book. And then I had a mentor of mine. He came in and he was like, "Well, how are you doing this? How are you? You know?" So he helped me set up my steps. But every day you see something or you hear something, and then all of a sudden your mind starts taking off on that creative flow.
Right. Right. So with things like that happening, um, they don't happen nearly as often. Not to say that it doesn't happen with those characters for that series, but it more so like any and all like fun little ideas. I have a separate OC that I apply those for that's not even connected to those at all. Like all my writing mistakes and growth is for that separate OC. And any honing, any fine tuning, any what do you want, revisions, all that and learning to be a better writer all gets applied to Bay City Patrol.
Oh.
So I have one practice OC I've been messing with since I was like 12. She takes the brunt of all my bad ideas and all my weird storytelling and everything. And then I'm like, okay, that would be really cool. But what if I went about it in a more condensed way with these characters over here? That way they're not too all over the place. And then just do that, yeah.
Man. So everyone can also follow you on TikTok.
The TikTok is insane. My apologies to anybody who may follow me on there.
Well, we're following you. See, look at that. We're following you.
Thank you. Thank you. I I've pretty much given up on the idea of having a clean digital footprint. So just like
Well,
long
no, you
as
have some great, fun little videos. You also, of course, you keep your con schedule up here.
oh yes.
You know, because
I try.
everybody's on TikTok. If you're
Oh
not
yeah,
doing anything right, you got to be on TikTok and
exactly.
Instagram. And I have to say, the Cosmic Portal's Instagram is sadly lacking. I hate Instagram.
No, I gave up on Instagram years
You
ago.
know,
I'm like,
yeah, I just that I just we have Marky Mark following Twitter for us because I can't do Twitter either. I
okay, so I apologize for the TikTok. I apologize even more for the Twitter. Like that's I'm not gonna say like just mindless posting, but I say whatever I want to say up there. I do whatever I want to do up there. I'm like I
but
apologize to anyone.
according to Elon Musk, right? Isn't that what that's for? Say what you want
Supposedly,
to say.
yeah,
supposedly, you know,
that's pretty
that's
much
what he
all it
did.
is for, though, right?
Yeah, but again, here you are on YouTube.
I am on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, hold on a
haven't
minute.
uploaded a video in a while, but
Uh,
I do have notes. I have notes all over the place for videos that I do want to do, and I have a lot of footage. I have notes, footage, and a musician that I know who said I could use their work without getting my stuff taken down. So
That's
you know what?
that's nice.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
important. That's huge right there.
Yeah, because
Cause
I was
yeah, I mean, we get monetized all the time. They hit us quick, and I'm like, you can't really. I don't have enough for you to hit me with. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You're not really hurting me. So uh, digging into that royalty free music thing where you have to pay $9.99 a month so we have royalty free music. But
Yeah,
your
it's
page is
nasty.
nice. Showing you how you actually do how you do your drawings and how you bring your characters to life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those ones are a little bit older, but I do I mean a lot of my process is still the same. Like how I get from point A to point B is completely the same. Not much has changed there outside of the art style.
Like that Cowboy Bebop.
Thank you.
I
I
like
I
that.
saw that you did one drawing that was a cross between Akira
Yes.
and Dragon Ball Z. I love Akira. That's my childhood right there. You know.
Oh yes.
So,
Oh
uh,
yes.
what other stuff have you done? The crossover type stuff that you've done?
Ah, crossover style. I have with my original characters. I did the neighborhood watch kids. I did them with the cover for De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising.
Ooh, okay.
I've done that. What was the other one? There was another crossover I did. I have a lot of crossover ideas that people may not know the exact niche thing that I'm thinking about. But I wanted to dive even more into the Dragon Ball Akira thing because those are both two series that mean a lot to me. The original Akira manga. I mean, I was gifted the first 3 books for Christmas when I was in high school, and I read through all 3 of them like Christmas Day. And they're thick books for anyone who may not know. They're like this thick of books. And my aunt was like, I was gonna wait to get you the other ones just to make sure you actually liked it. I'm like, why would I not like this? Like, thank you. And so she immediately got me the next ones, and I again read through those. So, but I wanted to play more with the Dragon Ball Akira thing. So on top of that poster, it was gonna be actually, if you pardon my, hold on, give me one quick second. I have
Okay.
some. So years ago, at GalaxyCon 2020, the first GalaxyCon I ever worked. Um, the original, I was selling the original versions of the Dragon Ball Akira poster, along with Bulma on a version of her bike from the original Dragon Ball series, plus the Akira bike. And I got it signed by Monica Rial, the current voice actress for Bulma,
Oh
and Christopher
wow.
Sabat. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is tight.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is gonna get redone to be even cooler because I like it. It's cute, but when I think of cute, I don't think of Akira. So
Yeah, Akira's
furthest thing
not cute.
from that's definitely gonna get redone to be a little bit like if I can have her, and this will take every bit of power in my body. But if I can have her doing the lean with it, that would be sick. Thank you, Dark
Yeah.
Asylum.
Yeah.
So
Classic
that's
anime.
the goal to get that nice and cool looking and big on like a big poster. That would be really cool. But
Definitely. So you also have Ko-Fi.
I do. We're gonna call it that.
And what exactly is Ko-Fi?
So Ko-fi basically it kind of operates as another social media site. I don't use it for that because I'm bad with my own social media. I don't need one more thing to worry about. It functions as a social media site and as a place for people to do like tip jars. That's how I started off as. It was kind of like an internet tip jar for If you don't want to subscribe to a Patreon or commission someone, but you got a couple of bucks and you wanted to shoot it their way, you will use Ko-Fi for that.
Ah.
But Ko-Fi now is also doing a thing where you can take commissions on there. So that's what I mainly use Ko-Fi for commission work.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
Old New Year's piece, yes. It's a lot of older artwork up there. There are some people who do follow me, so I try to keep some kind of regular flow on there. I attempt.
What I'm telling, I mean, this is straight. For me, this is like looking at old school anime. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I mean, you have your technique down pat.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It took years. It took a very long time of me just going, you know what? I want to go for this style. We're going to do that. And so those two characters were the ones I really started working on that with.
I'm telling you.
Did you find you had issues drawing that anime style, being not only a woman but a black woman from America? Did you ever have people say anything about that when they look at your style or anything like that?
No. Shockingly
Okay.
enough. Shockingly enough, no. I think a lot of people were just really excited to see that I was doing it, which I'm really thankful for. I'm thankful that that has not been a problem. That people have not been very nasty or mean. And I've been on the internet for a very long time. So I know what people are fully capable of doing. And I know
Yeah.
when people are just being mean for the sake of being mean. So I'm thankful for that now. That I have that time and experience. But yeah, I most 99% of my interactions have all been nothing but praise and love, and I'm really thankful for that.
It is spot on. When you look at it, it is spot on. Drawing. I actually love it. So
Thank
yeah, I
you.
just wondered if you had any issues at all with that.
Thank you. I would say maybe not this comic. This one's gross. I would do the other. I would do any of the other ones. Quite honestly, this one's
Not
gross.
that one.
Not that one. I don't know what possessed us to do that one, but this was a this is a very old project that people have been bugging us, me and my boyfriend, to bring back. And I'm like, when I have the time, y'all, I will gladly. I will gladly. It was fun to do though. Like I love going back and looking at these.
Well, I mean, again, it's just your artwork is such great, and that was a webtoon, excuse me,
Webtoon, yes,
webtoon.
yes.
Um, and it's just one of those things. Every time that I see stuff like that, makes me envious for one, because I can't draw worth a lick. I put two stick figures. You gotta have to imagine what this is.
But that's fine. That's fine. I think that's the piece that no one really gets. I'm like, listen, One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100 are two of the most influential. Like, not, I wouldn't say influential. Well, maybe influential. Yeah, they're two of like the biggest names in anime and have been for like the last 6-7 years. If you look at the original webcomic for both of those, and not to say that he's a bad artist per se, but it's like it's nothing compared to what the Mob Psycho anime did with that context and what Yusuke Murata did with the One Punch Man proper manga as opposed to the webcomic. Like those dumb little sketches that are in the series and stuff, that's from the original webcomic because he's not that strong of an artist. But he had a story. He had a story. He had to get it out there. And that is admirable. So when I did those webtoons and when I'm working on my own comics, I keep that in mind. Like, yeah, the art may not really be there, but if your story is good and you know that it's good, people are going to read it. Like, just put it out there.
You're muted, Calibus.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what we were talking about throughout, like TV and stuff like that. Now that I watch this stuff and I'll be like, "Where's the story?" And then they give me this bad art, like when they redid the Thundercats.
Mm.
And I was looking at that and I was like, what is this? What, you went from what filmation and, with the characters looking like characters. And then even with the second iteration of Thundercats, where they had them all kind of brutal and, and kind of medieval looking,
Yeah.
and then we get like they gave a bunch of markers and crayons to some kids and said, "Here you go." And I'm like, "What is this?" You know? And God help me, even with Rick and Morty, I love it because I can turn my brain off to it. I don't.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
kind of sad to say that I don't have to think when I watch Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? It's just
Ex-
completely shut down everything and just sit there and just dumb out for that 22 minutes, you know. And, I mean, for guys, it's a lot easier, what I mean, because it doesn't take much, a couple fart jokes or whatever else, and we're laughing like we're 4 years old again.
yeah.
It's just crazy. But I see your artwork and stuff like that, and I'm like, I would love to see you do something animated in a movie or something like that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
That
I
would be
definitely
awesome to see.
appreciate that. Yeah. It's
That would be awesome to see.
my biggest fear is always ensuring that the feeling I'm trying to evoke is getting across. Like whether that be like, or even like if there's supposed to be motion in the image, I hope that comes across very well. I don't want myself to for people to like just swipe by it. Which if that happens, it's fine. But the amount of people, like even if they're not buying anything, like you don't have to buy something. If you just stop and look, I won. I won. Like it's fine. I got you to look. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So hopefully it'll be in the back of your head the next time you see me.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure it will. Because again, like I said, I saw your stuff, and unfortunately, I couldn't get to go to Richmond this year, but I'll be there next year.
I got you. I got you.
So
Well, I won't plug now, but according to my convention schedule, I do stick to the 757 as much as possible. I don't try to go too crazy. Like, oh, you can only
right,
see me at Anime Expo, or you can only see me at no, I'm not doing all that. I try to keep it as close to home as I can manage.
oh, that's awesome. But yeah, and see you there next year, and if you're doing SketchUp, I'm gonna have to get me something from Piccolo. I
Oh,
need
of
me something
course.
from
Like
Piccolo.
Piccolo has to happen at some point anyway. Despite the fact that I love Dragon Ball, I just started adding Dragon Ball stuff to my booth because I'm like,
Really?
I did it so much. I drew nothing but Dragon Ball growing up, so I was just like, I don't really need to draw it any like to actively go out of my way to draw it anymore for merchandise purposes. Because like I draw it for fun, so it's not something I
Right.
need to do based on this. But I realized I don't do that with any of the stuff that I actively enjoy. Any of my comfort series, any series that I've been attached to for like 10 plus years, I had no artwork for it. So I was like, but I'm very much against doing artwork for things or selling merchandise of things that are just kind of like the current fad. So like if I don't like the series, you're not gonna find it at my booth. So prime example, Jujutsu Kaisen. You're not gonna find
Mhm.
anything Jujutsu Kaisen at my booth. I don't like it. Um, it took me forever. Now, mind you, the only thing I broke that rule with was Chainsaw Man because I knew I was going to like Chainsaw Man. I was like, I know, I love it without even watching it, so I'm not gonna worry about it because people have been bugging me to read it for years, and I'm like, it looks like something I would love, but again, the art style was weird.
Yeah.
He couldn't draw all that well,
Yeah.
and back then that was a turnoff to me. But now that I know what goes into making a comic, I'm like, you know what? I do the same thing. I can't get mad.
It definitely gives you a different perspective when you have to relearn a process or learn more about that particular author or artist and how they portray their characters or what they were trying to convey, and then you have a little bit of an understanding, and then you're like, you know what, I can go through that, I can watch that. Marky
Right.
Mark challenges me all the time for anime because he'll say something about something, or he'll say, "Hey, did you guys check out so and so?" And then I'll go back, and we were recently talking about all the old school anime.
Hmm.
We had it on one of our shows called The Blurs, and man, I'm telling you, all that stuff just started taking us back to like uh, Marine Boy,
Hmm.
Speed Racer,
Hmm.
Tranzor Z, and I was like, man, I forgot. All that was, that anime style, because here in
Right.
America, what do we have? Flintstones.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't have anything. I mean, we got here because we came from California to Norfolk, and we
Okay.
got when we first got here back in '77. Battle of the Planets was on, and then
Hmm.
it was Star Blazers,
Hmm.
and when I actually went to my first convention and they showed me the Japanese version of these, it blew my mind. I was just like, what? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Um, death and destruction on a massive scale. Main
Right.
heroes died.
Yeah.
We never got on any of that stuff in American cartoons. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing to see how everything goes off, and they do know how to tell a great love story.
Yep.
um, Three Times Three Eyes was like it for me. Man, I was riveted. I couldn't believe I was sitting there. Then
Yeah.
I said, you guys got to sit here and watch this, and they were like, are you crazy? I said, just watch it. And I didn't have the last. Back then they came out in VHS,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
we didn't have that last one, and we ran down to Suncoast Video to buy the last cassette to end the series, because all of us we were so riveted by this thing. And
Hmm.
it's just it's amazing to see a lot of that again. Your art style is dead on that.
Yeah.
Thank
Dead
you.
on it.
Like,
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, man, that she looked like she was actually writing for, or I mean drawing for these guys.
so my dad grew up with, again, Battle of the Planets, Star Blazers, all that stuff, and he loved all of that. Of course, couldn't pinpoint it necessarily to anime, but as he got older, stuff that was on TV, he was watching it. Like, we would watch Sailor Moon together growing up. So as I got older, and actually I could pinpoint, because I always thought my dad didn't know nothing about anime. And so one day, but I'm gonna go in order. I'm going in order. So he had friends when we were younger. He had this one friend who had kids who were just loved. While I loved them to death, and they were really cool people, they were just all over the place. They did whatever they wanted to do, and I was like, all right, y'all. So they went to their dad's VHS collection and they pulled out all the old anime from that time. And this was like my experience with anime puts me in the DVD era, like the very very early 2000s. But watching anime on VHS is something I'm very knowledgeable. Watching stuff on VHS, I had it all the way up into the mid 2000s. So it is what it is. So they pulled out these VHSs and they had Shin Cutie Honey, they had Devilman, Macross, all that stuff. So I'm watching. So we watched the ending of Macross, the second Macross movie, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one with the girl named Ishtar. She has blue hair. She sings a song that saves the
Oh,
world
okay.
or whatever. Beautiful song, but I can't remember the name of the movie. Um,
I don't remember that one either.
and then she pops in Shin Cutie Honey. Changed my life. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like 11, 12, and I'm seeing like anime nakedness. I didn't even think they could do that, so I was just like, oh, okay. Why are we watching this right now? It's just like, why are we watching this? But like, they're like, artistic nudity is one thing. Cutie Honey is not artistic nudity by any stretch of the imagination. But I fell in love with Cutie Honey from that day on. And then we watched Devilman. I can't remember which Devilman though. I think it was the second one. No, it was the first OVA. but we only watched bits and pieces of it. Again, didn't know cartoons could cuss that much. Did not know that bare naked ladies could be could be on full display like that. So, but when I would bring the stuff up to my dad, he would clown me for being into this stuff. But I can't tell him, Dad, look at this violence Jack and stuff like that. I'm like, Dad, check this out. I can't bring that up to him at 12 years old. So one day, but my mom would buy it for me because she's like, you're grown enough to know that this isn't real. So my mom would buy DVDs for me for Christmas and stuff, and she brought me Chobits one time. It's old, it's old now. Ugh. But it's an old series about a girl who's a computer. And my phone hurt me. I thought I said Siri, but it's an old thing about a girl who's a computer who has like her power switch. It's only a gag once, but it's like her power switch is like in her private parts. And I didn't tell my dad that I had them, but I didn't think he knew what it was. So he came home and he's like, Chobits, is that the series with the girl who has the power switch in her vagina? I'm like, what do you know about this? Hang on. And then from there, I would start getting the Dragon Ball Z series on DVD, so we would just watch that together. When he had Roku, we would just sit and watch Naruto for hours together. And I got him into JoJo. So he'll send me random. The actual name of the series is Gotcha Man, I think. So he'll send me Gotcha Man stuff.
Yeah,
because he's been watching. He's just been getting caught up with all the new content that's been coming out for that and everything. So I was just like, I get it from him. Whether or not he fully understands that, but I'm like, this is all you watch. Like, you sit here and you watch anime all day. You're just like me. I don't know why why we be squaring up with our anime interests. Like, you heard Jodeci coming out of the TV and you saw anime on the TV and you got confused. So I'm like, yeah, Dad, it's JoJo. You should watch it. It's really good. And and it's been downhill ever since.
Well, I mean, that's one, a bonding moment. I mean, I can't get my kids to hardly watch anything. Everything's a fight. I like DC, they like Marvel. The only thing I have is my daughter, and she will watch Star Trek with me, but only the new stuff.
Oh.
And my grandson now, he has a love for Godzilla. So
okay, yeah. See, and that's something else I also get from.
Yeah. So
Well,
I push it. I push that venue on him. Anything and everything Godzilla movie coming out. Me and you Friday, right? Yeah, Papa. We're going. Good. So
we're not. You can't not enjoy Godzilla. So like Godzilla, pro wrestling, and anime. That was like literally stuff that was everyone in my family was into. So that meant I had to be into this.
That's a great thing to be into, though.
Exactly.
Right?
Godzilla, wrestling, and anime. So
exactly. Like my mom was always just a cartoon nut. She just likes cartoons in general. It doesn't matter what they are, but she can't get with anime. She told me why. I thought it was really funny. She was like, they're just so emotional. Like they're really happy, they're really sad, they're really angry. There is no balance or in between. And I was like, you're right. That's a very good point. She's like, no one operates at this nice medium, but she loves Futurama, love The Simpsons, X-Men, all that. Like eats it up. So I'm like, I mean,
yeah, that's kind of. I mean, for me, that's kind of like my go-to stuff. I mean, I'll have either Family Guy, American Dad,
yep,
playing in the background. I mean, I don't even have to be watching it, but it has to be on in the background just for me to have my whatever. And then when I want to zone out, I pop in Rick and Morty. Started season 1, let it run. The last season wasn't all that great. I just kind of wish now they just stopped. Now I'm just kind of like, oh my god.
I haven't been keeping up at all. I stopped keeping up maybe after Space Beth became a thing. I don't know what her deal is.
Oh my god. I mean, season 6 wasn't that bad, but season 7, for the first time I kind of stood up and went, wait a minute. that's right. The voice actors are gone, and now they got new people, and you can kind of tell a little bit. I mean, although Rick is spot on, there's just something off about it, and then the storylines were just completely left
Too
field.
completely out
Yeah,
there. I feel like Morty is very spot on, but Rick only sounds like Rick when he's going off on some kind
yeah,
of tangent. But
yeah,
Rick, calm,
definitely,
cool, and collected to me just sounds different. And I was like, it's not that much of a turnoff because I wasn't watching it anymore anyway. But I was like, not enough for me to not worry about it.
definitely,
Hmm.
definitely. Marky, you got anything else?
No, I think that covers it for me. Oh, what is? I do have one other thing. My wife wants to know what is the next convention you are going to, and anything local that you're going to be at.
Got you. So, let me run through my brain. Um, I have a local gaming convention. I want to say it's on April 5th. I'm gonna post as soon as I get more information. I'll post about it. It should be called Stick Drift 5 over in Hampton. I'll be there for a day. I think it's like from 9 a.m. to midnight or something like that. But after that, there's Anime Ocean City. That's going to be in Ocean City, Maryland. That's going to be the last weekend in April, April 27th and 28th. After that, there's Tidewater Comic Con here at Virginia Beach, May 11th through the 12th, I want to say. But yeah, I have a
Understood.
lot coming up. So if you could not get me at GalaxyCon, I will definitely be at so many more this year. I have my schedule planned all the way up through September. So yeah,
Mm.
Do you plan on going to NecaCon? Because that is straight up anime convention
that
in
is straight up
Hampton.
anime. So
So
NecoCon, um, I've gone in the last couple of years. The back in 2022, I got in through their regular Artist Alley. I don't want to say roulette, but like their proper application. Last year, I was able to get in through just showing up at the door, and they had a space open. So I try to make it a thing to go to Neco every year. NecoCon was my first convention. I was like 14, so I try to make it in every single year, or I try to at least go just to go. But to sell, like I feel obligated to be there. It's like it was my baby con. I was a baby when I went, and 15 years later. But that is the goal. That is the goal. I'm not sure when they're opening up their artist alley yet because I would love to just be in normally as opposed to hoping for a table. But here's hoping.
We'll definitely see you at TidewaterCon.
yes,
Of course. I'll be
TidewaterCon, well,
posting
that's
about that. Yeah, I'll be posting about that because I purchased 2 tables for that one, so I need enough space to I need enough stuff to fill up 2 tables.
oh man, okay,
So hopefully there'll be a lot of new merch for sale at that one as well.
nice. Well, I definitely want you to keep us posted, and of course, like I said, we'll keep promoting you as loud as we can over here on our side. Um, Definitely love your work. And it's nice to see someone of your caliber from our area out there doing what you're
Right.
doing, and that's what we appreciate. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I'm trying. I'm trying. I think the notion that I think for years like the notion that there won't nothing to do out here always bugged me. And the fact that we ain't got nothing going on always bugged me. I'm like, we got plenty going on. What are you talking about? So I gotta be something that's going on. I have the weight of being good and popping. I have to be good and popping. Otherwise the rumors will be true. But we got so much good stuff that comes out of the 757, and I have to be one of them. So.
Oh, you definitely are. Trust me on that one.
Thank you.
Again, I want to thank you for coming on our show today. I hope you come back.
Of
Anytime
course,
that
yeah.
you have a little thing, you'll be always welcome to come back here, talk with us, or sit in with a show with us. We have artists. We're doing a Star Trek show coming up soon.
Okay, sick.
You know
Sick.
what I mean? We try to do a little bit of everything. Plus, I want to start showcasing some of our local artists, cosplayers and stuff like that onto the show to give the voice back fandom voice back to the people,
Of
because that's what
course,
we're
yeah.
doing. We're doing it for the love of the fandom, and we're doing it for the love of, for you anime. For some of us, it's uh, Mark does our DC reviews, and then we have the Blurs,
Right.
our black nerd show, and I
Right.
think Mark might be taking that over soon. You see how I just throw that at you, Mark? You're gonna go ahead and take that one. I'm getting busy. I'm knee deep. I'm knee deep. I'm almost done with my second book, so I
All
gotta I
right.
gotta step back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Every day
Yes.
something else comes in my brain, and I'm like, I gotta write this down real quick before I lose it. But
Like this would be cool. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm the same
yeah,
way. But I appreciate you guys for even having this space because there are a lot of people who have no clue where to even begin when looking for safe places in fandom,
yeah,
let alone with two black men. And it's like,
yeah.
guys, we're welcoming. We're cool. Like please, like the idea that we're weird is very much an internet thing. Real people do not behave this way. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
Come in.
We have to, and that was one of the reasons why I did it, because we have an all female show, the Matriarchs of Fandom. Marky Mark's wife, she runs that one. She's my showrunner for that show, and that's taken off because it's pretty much a sausage factory in the fandom. And I wanted, the ladies, you guys have a voice. You guys can be heard. So we put that together. They did their first convention at Convivial, and
Ooh,
that took
okay.
off for them. So um, that's kind of the crown jewel for the Cosmic Portal. And then, of course, we got Portal Talk. Marky Mark does the DC reviews. Fandom, according to Miss Liz, we call her the first lady of fandom, and she's an elder lady. And when she starts talking, boy, she cracks me up. She just you let Miss Liz go, she just goes, but it's that voice. We
Right.
don't have that voice out there, so we try, very hard to give somebody a voice out there, and I want you back here on this show because I enjoy talking to you. Um,
I
and it's
appreciate talking to y'all. With any luck, the next time I come, I will have um both comics that I'm thinking of. At least
ooh.
the first issues of them done. That's the goal, but we will see. We gotta
Okay.
see.
Well, I'm
But yeah.
definitely gonna. I'll keep checking in with you, and as soon as you have something up, just shoot me a line so I can shoot it out there to everybody. You
Okay,
know,
yes.
our following isn't huge, but it ain't small either, and that's the best part of it. We're all growing,
Exactly.
and
Eyes are eyes. It is I never really worry too much about stuff like that because at the end of the day, you never know who you're talking to. So
that's true.
it's never a big deal to me. And I'm not crazy either, trust me. And I'm not her, So it's it's fine. It's fine. I'm thankful that y'all even reached out to me to even ask me to do this. Like I love doing this. So
Well,
I
great.
appreciate that.
We're definitely going to have you back. And then what I want to say to everybody out there, thank you guys for watching. And remember, you can find Miss uh, Mikayla on her link is in the description of this video. Or if you can't find it, PM me. I will send you to it so you can get in there and you can see what she has. Please check her out at Tidewater Comic Con, I should say. Cosmic Portal, of course, will be there along with the 757 Geek Fandoms as we go through the fandoms. Marky Mark, anything from the DC Reviewer before we go, sir?
Nothing new yet. Nothing new has come out. So I did want to go back and do Batman versus Robin since we're going to be doing the Court of Owls at Tidewater Comic Con. So I do want to do a review of that so we can at least start discussing that before we get ready for that cosplay, that huge cosplay we're going to be doing.
Man, that's going to be a big one. We got Big L coming back. Uh, and then I think Rob is doing Talon as
Yes.
we're just doing the court. All right. Well, then, guys, that's going to be it for the show. I want to thank Miss Mikayla for joining us as we went into our anime artist, comic book author, and of course, artist, Uh,
course.
man, I'm telling you, I learned so much today, and now I, I think when I go offline, I'll be
There
hitting a
we
little bit of
go.
my.
There we go. Because you're doing better than me. I still have a lot of stuff. I dig for the ooh. Which one that one?
Oh,
This is
hold on.
Ruby.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ruby. I got
Ruby.
into that because they did a crossover with the Justice League. So I've been watching Ruby for a little while now.
I
And
do.
it's a great show. I noticed some of the artwork you've done, they do that, after the show goes off, they like to show you how they draw the characters. So they do a similar art style that you've done to show how they made these characters. So I enjoy the show. I mean, if you've never seen Ruby, give it a shot. And I think there's two movies, Ruby, with the Justice League, part one and part two.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check
I
that out. It's a great show.
had no clue that they did that. That's crazy.
Really?
I'm not I'm not the Ruby girl. I don't keep up with I never kept up with it at all, but I love Justice League. So
And
That's
they've
not
done a
bad.
close me
crossover.
down.
Check it out.
All right, shoot. I will remember that. Thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
oh,
Good.
yeah. So Rob said, "Yep, he's doing Talon." All right, guys. So that's going to do us here at the Cosmic Portal. Welcome to Portal Talk. Thank you for joining us on our third major episode with our wonderful anime author, writer, comic book creator. All them
I'm
titles you got,
trying.
girl.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
So I just want to leave you with what I always leave you with: health, life, and prosperity.
Thank you. That is much appreciated.